The best system. Lie that kills your productivity. The 3-question filter. You're stuck hunting the best productivity system, opening new apps, rearranging planners, and somehow getting nothing done. That's not laziness. That's decision paralysis dressed up as optimization. If that's you, here's the fix. A 3-question filter that forces a clear choice and gets you executing in 60 seconds. You won't need a new app, a perfect template, or a weekend overhaul. Just a quick pass that tells you start with constraints, or stick with what you've got for 7 days. In a minute, I'll give you the exact questions and show them on a real example so you can start today. The 3-question filter. Here's the filter. 3 questions, 60 seconds. You answer out loud, no spreadsheets, no research tabs. Question 1. Scope. Does this method work for my next 7 days, not forever? We're shrinking the horizon on purpose. 7 days is enough to learn, not long enough to spiral. If you can't see how it fits a single week, it's not a fit. Question 2. Friction. Can I set it up in under 15 minutes using tools I already use? If it needs a migration, custom fields, or a weekend to do it right, that's a no. Startup friction kills momentum. Speed to first action wins. Question 3. Feedback. Will this give me one clear daily signal that I executed the plan? Not 5 dashboards. Binary signal. Did today happen? Yes or no? If you can't define the signal in a sentence, you won't feel progress. Decision rule. 3 yeses. Start now. 2 yeses. Start with a constraint for 7 days and keep the missing piece simple. Fewer than 2. Default to your current method for a week, then review. Let me show you exactly how this plays out with 3 options people juggle. A task manager app, notebook, and your calendar. Option 1. Task manager app. Scope. Can it carry me through the next 7 days? Mouse. Create one project called This Week. Drop in the top 3 outcomes and attach daily next actions. Friction. Can I set it up in 15 minutes using what I already use? If you already have the app, yes, new project, simple list, no tags. If you don't use it yet, that's a no learning curve and sign-up cost. Feedback. One clear daily signal? Yes, end of day. The today list is empty, or the daily checkbox is ticked. Decision. If you already use the app, that's 3 yeses start. If you don't, it's 2 yeses. Start with a constraint. Use it only as a 7-day list, no labels or due dates. Option 2. Plain notebook. Scope. 7 days. Easy title a page. Week of date. List 3 outcomes, then give each day 1 line for a single next action. Friction. Under 15 minutes? Yes. Open the notebook. Write the headings. Feedback. One clear daily signal? Yes. Draw a big checkbox for plan executed. Decision. 3 yeses, start immediately. Add 1 rule. No rewriting pages midweek. Option 3. Calendar first. Scope. 7 days? Yes. Block time for the 3 outcomes across the week. Friction. Under 15 minutes using existing tools? If your calendar is already your home base, yes. If you never use it, probably no feedback. One clear daily signal? Yes, green blocks completed, or a simple EOD event. Plan done, yes, no. Decision. If your calendar's already open daily, 3 yeses start. If not, 2 yeses start with a constraint. Only block the first 90 minutes each day. Now, common mistakes. The thing most people miss is confusing cool with useful. Custom fields, color-coded tags, and multi-board setups feel smart but add friction with 0 payoff in week 1. Another mistake is asking, will this scale when my life gets complicated? Wrong question for now. The right question is, will this carry me for 7 days so I can actually ship? Also, don't try to merge everything on day 1. You don't need your goals, habits, budget, and content plan in one tool to move a single project this week. Here's how to use the decision rule in real time. Set a 60-second timer. Say the method you're tempted by. Ask the 3 questions out loud. If you hesitate, that's a no. Make the call using the rule and start. If you land on 2 yeses, add 1 constraint that reduces risk. Time cap setup at 15 minutes, stick to 1 list or 1 page, and defer any data migration until the weekly review. If you land on fewer than 2, your default is your current method for 7 days. No switching mid-week. Let me give you a micro win right now. Grab what's already open, your calendar, your notes, or your task app. Write this at the top, 7-day scope. List the 3 outcomes for the week. Under that, write today's one next action and fill it in. Then define your daily signal in 1 line. At 5 p.m., checkbox, plan executed. You've just passed scope, friction, and feedback in under 2 minutes. That's the point. Decide in 60 seconds, start in 15, and let the week teach you what to improve, not another comparison video. Map of the problem. The optimization loop. Now let's name the hidden enemy, the best system, lie. It whispers that the right combo of app, planner, and workflow will unlock your life. Sounds helpful. It isn't. It traps you in an optimization loop that looks productive, but quietly starves your actual work. Here's the loop, beat by beat. Beat 1. The discovery trigger. You see a slick setup on YouTube. A coworker shows you their board, or you hit a messy day and think, I need a better system. That jolt feels like clarity. Your brain tags it as a fix. The problem is, at this stage, you're reacting to discomfort, not diagnosing work. Beat 2. The comparison phase. You open tabs. You demo tools. You sketch architectures. You tweak fields. This is where dopamine masquerades as progress. Every feature tour and top 10 inches list gives you micro rewards without the risk of execution. Criteria shift midstream. What started as help me plan this week turns into must scale to my entire life, and suddenly no option fits. You raise the bar as you research, guaranteeing paralysis. Beat 3. Implementation failure. You pick something, often the shiniest, and try to build it right. Hours go into setup, not into output. The real work waits. You design taxonomies you won't use, migrate data you won't reference, promise future rituals you don't have yet. Then reality hits. Deadlines, interruptions, energy dips. The beautiful system cracks under actual load because rules weren't in place. You blame the tool. Beat 4. The shame reset. After a bad day, you feel behind and guilty. Instead of a small fix, you default to a big switch. Shame convinces you the whole system is wrong, so you wipe the board, uninstall, or buy another template. The loop restarts with a fresh discovery trigger. You feel relief because you're starting over, but you've just preserved the cycle. Why is it sticky? 2 things: research dopamine and sunk cost. Research provides instant certainty without consequences. Every comparison promises control. And sunk cost says, I've already spent 5 hours evaluating, so I can't stop now. So you keep comparing to justify the time investment, not to ship. There's also cognitive load. Before you write 1 sentence, you're juggling decisions about tags, views, contexts, priorities, integrations, and automations. Each tiny choice burns attention you need for the work. Decision fatigue sets in, so you do easier tasks. Rename lists, move cards, color code. Looks like productivity, feels like relief, isn't output. The kicker is how the loop feeds itself. Comparison raises your standards, making implementation fragile. Fragile implementation fails under normal chaos, triggering shame. Shame pushes you to restart with more research to get it right this time. Therefore, you become an expert in evaluating systems and a novice at running one. The thing most people miss is that this isn't about willpower. It's a misaimed optimization instinct. You're trying to reduce future pain by designing a perfect container. But planning imaginary complexity for the next 6 months ignores the only complexity that matters, the next 7 days of your real life. So how do we break it? We flip the loop's incentives. We shrink the horizon so comparison has nothing grand to optimize. We cap setup so implementation starts before the dopamine fades. We pick 1 daily signal so shame can't blur the story. That's exactly why the 3-question filter works. It interrupts each beat. Discovery trigger still happens. Fine. The filter bumps you to a 60-second choice, not a 6-hour rabbit hole. Comparison phase collapses because 7 days, 15 minutes, 1 signal is a hard gate, not a vibe. Implementation moves first. Because friction is capped and rules are simple. Shame reset gets replaced with a neutral weekly review, because the signal shows what happened without drama. Let me show you the reframe that makes this stick. Because once you see what you're really protecting, choosing gets easier. Emotional reframe. Not you, it's commitment fear. Here's the shift. Your brain isn't addicted to tools, it's allergic to commitment. Choosing a system isn't a tiny decision. It feels like signing a contract with your future self. If you pick wrong, you imagine months of friction, missed deadlines, and public proof that you still can't get it together. So your brain does something clever. It keeps you in possibility, where everything is still perfect and untested. Research feels safe because nothing can fail. The thing most people miss is how protective this actually is. System shopping isn't laziness, it's a safety behavior. You're trying to avoid a story you've told yourself before. I tried and it didn't work, so maybe I'm the problem. The loop we just mapped is your brain's way of lowering risk. Stay in the lab, not on the field. No field, no scoreboard. No scoreboard, no shame. This clicked for me when I realized that our identity rides shotgun on every tool choice. You're not picking a planner, you're declaring, this is the kind of person I am now. That identity load makes the decision heavier than it needs to be. So you've been optimizing for never fail again instead of start and learn. That's why 7 days matters. We're lowering the cost of being wrong. A 1-week experiment can't threaten your identity. It's too small to be a verdict. It's just data. If you remember nothing else, remember this. The goal isn't finding the perfect system. It's reducing the commitment cost so you can move. When the cost is small, your brain stops defending. That's why the 3-question filter works. It makes the decision tiny, the setup tiny, and the feedback undeniable. We're not asking you to trust your willpower. We're asking you to trust a short runway and a clear signal. Now you might be thinking, but I've tried short sprints and still fell off. Right, because the sprint still carried hidden commitments, new apps, elaborate templates, and quiet promises to overhaul your whole life. The weight sneaks back in. The reframe is, good enough for 7 days is the win condition. Not perfect, not scalable, not pretty, good enough. That language removes the identity threat. You don't need to become a new person this week. You just need to move one project, day after day, and see what the signal says. Before we continue, you need to understand why single signal feedback is part of the emotion fix, not just the mechanics. Ambiguous results invite self-judgment. Clear binary signals don't. Yes, I executed today gives your brain a clean success to anchor to, even if the rest of the day was messy. That anchor interrupts the shame reset. Instead of I failed again, you get I shipped today, which keeps the experiment alive. Once you nail that, everything else clicks. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Make the system carry the blame, not you. For 7 days, if the signal drops, treat it like a design issue. Data, not drama. Ask, what rule was missing? Not, what's wrong with me? That move protects your identity and keeps you iterating. The reason this works is it aligns with how behavior sticks. Fast feedback loops, low stakes, and small promises you can keep. Let me show you exactly how to speak to yourself so this feels safe. Coach language, not critic language. Say, I'm running a 7-day test to learn what works in my real week. Say, I'll keep, kill, or tweak on Friday. Say, today's job is one next action and one signal. That's it. No lifetime vows. No tool marriages. Just 7 days of proof. Once you adopt this frame, the filter stops feeling like a restriction and starts feeling like freedom. You get to choose quickly, start fast, and let the week teach you. And boom, there's your control back. Not from planning the perfect life, but from shipping in real time. Principle 1. Constrain the horizon. Let's make scope practical. Only. When you try to design a forever system, ambiguity sneaks in, and the whole thing collapses under its own weight. You start asking, what if my goals change? What about Q4? How does this integrate with everything else? That fog multiplies decisions before the work even starts. Constraining the horizon slices through the fog. The job is not to future-proof your life. The job is to make the next 7 days unmissable. Here's what scope actually means. Choose a 7-day container with a clear end. We're not aiming for lifetime alignment. We're aiming for 1 week of proof. Think of it like a sprint with 3 parts. A single weekly objective, 3 tangible outcomes that define success, and 1 daily next action that moves the needle. If you can write those in 2 minutes, your scope is good. If you can't, the scope is vague. Why 7 days? It's long enough for reality to punch holes in your assumptions, and short enough that you won't defend bad choices. A week creates urgency without panic. It forces trade-offs. Only, it gives you a clean Friday decision. Keep, kill, or tweak. Your brain can commit to 7 days without flinching, and that's the whole point. Let me show you the structure step by step. Weekly objective, 1 sentence. Ship draft 1 of the client proposal. Cover chapters 3 to 5 with practice questions. Do 4 workouts to rebuild momentum. Keep it specific enough that you can say yes or no on Friday. 3 outcomes. Measurable checkpoints that make the objective real. For the proposal, outcomes might be outline approved, first draft written, reviewed with notes. For studying, read chapters, complete 60 practice problems, summarize weak areas. For fitness, 4 sessions logged, 2 strength, 2 cardio, mobility on off days. The outcomes are your map. They force clarity. Daily 1. Next action. Every morning, write the single action that advances one of the outcomes. 1. Not 5. If you write more, you're trying to feel safe, not move. Outline section 2. Do 2 Pomodoros of practice problems. 20-minute strength session. The 1 next action keeps scope honest. It connects the weekly promise to the day's reality. Now examples across contexts. Studying. Scope the week like this. Objective. Master supply and demand curves for the quiz. Outcomes. Watch lecture once, take notes, do 40 practice questions, create a 1-page cheat sheet. Daily next actions might be 10 questions plus review, revise notes, or build the cheat sheet. The signal is binary. Did you complete today's next action tied to the outcomes? Yes or no? Freelancing. Objective. Deliver V1 website copy for the homepage. Outcomes. Research and voice bank. Headline and subhead options. 2 hero sections drafted. Daily next actions. Collect 10 voice of customer lines. Draft headline options. Edit hero paragraph. You aren't rebuilding your entire content system. You're moving this week's project. Fitness. Objective. Rebuild the habit with 4 sessions. Outcomes. 4 logged. Mix of strength/cardio. Mobility twice. Daily next action. Start the 20-minute session now. Notice there's no perfect plan, just a tiny scope that leads to proof. Now, common mistakes to avoid. Don't plan months. A monthly plan sounds responsible, but it invites fantasy scheduling. The longer the horizon, the more room for stories. Don't write vague goals like get healthier or be consistent. Vague goals can't guide action. Don't create too many metrics. The more you track, the less you act. You need 1 scoreboard for the week, not a data warehouse. Here's the quick win to lock scope today. Set a 3-minute timer and write. This week's objective is. 3 outcomes are. Today's 1 next action is. Stop there. If your hand wants to add more, that's anxiety trying to disguise itself as planning. Trust the constraint. Remember, good enough for 7 days beats perfect for 0 days. A lot of people ask, but what if something urgent appears midweek? Great question. Scope isn't a prison, it's a guardrail. If a true fire hits, adjust the daily next action to address it, then return to the outcomes the next day. If the fire changes the whole week, note it, and decide on Friday whether your scope was unrealistic or whether your environment needs a rule. You don't pivot your entire system midweek. You honor the container, learn, and iterate. Another question. What about big, complex goals? Use scope per sub-project. Break the big thing into weekly objectives that stand alone. The mistake is treating complexity as a reason to plan farther out. Complexity is a reason to narrow scope until the next step is obvious. If you remember nothing else about scope, remember this mantra. Decide less, move more. 7 days forces the trade-offs, 3 outcomes keep you honest, and 1 daily next action keeps you out of theory and in motion. You'll be tempted to make it prettier. Don't. Make it shorter. Then run it. At the end of the week, your signal will tell you exactly what to change. That's learning you can trust. Principle 2. Minimize setup friction. Scope gives you a small runway. Friction decides if you ever lift off. High setup makes you feel productive while quietly delaying the first action. The rule here is simple. If you can't make it work in 15 minutes with tools you already use, it's a no for this week. Not forever, just this week. Why this matters. Every minute spent configuring is a minute not spent moving outcomes. Setup is seductive because it's clear, finite, and safe. But momentum is fragile. If you don't score a quick win before the research dopamine fades, the week slips. Reducing friction protects that first win. So what does minimal friction look like? 3 moves: templates, defaults, and start with what's open. Templates remove decisions. Defaults prevent tinkering. And starting with what's open kills the "let me just try this new app" impulse. If Notes is open, use Notes. If your calendar is open, use that. Use the path of least resistance to get to action in minutes, not hours. Let's turn that into steps you can run right now. Step 1. Pick the container you already touch daily. Calendar, Notes, Task app, or a notebook. No signups, no downloads, no imports. If you hesitate, that's friction telling you to choose simpler. Step 2. Set a 15-minute timer. You are building version 1, not the final system. Version 1 must get you to the first action before the timer ends. Step 3. Apply the minimum viable structure. Create one weekly space called This Week. List your 3 outcomes and add today's one next action. That's it. If you reach for custom fields or categories, pause. Ask, does this help me complete today's action? If the answer isn't a clear yes, skip it. Step 4. Define your single daily signal up front. 1 checkbox, 1 end-of-day event, 1 tally. Put it where you already look, not in a separate dashboard. Visibility beats sophistication. Now, examples to make it real. Calendar. Calendar first scheduling. Open your calendar. Block the first 90 minutes each weekday for your top outcome. Title the block with the next action, not a vague label. Color it green. Add a recurring 5-minute event at the end of the day called Plan Executed. Yes, no. You're done. No new views, no integrations. Tomorrow, drag the block if needed. Friction stays low because the rule is first 90 minutes. The calendar you already live in becomes your execution lane. Notes. First planning. Open your default Notes app. New note called Week of Date. 3 bullet points for outcomes. Under that, write Today, 1 next action. Add a single checkbox labeled Executed. Pin the note to the top. If the urge to add tags hits, breathe. Pinning is your default. One note, not a wiki. Task app. If you already use a task app, create one list named This Week. Add 3 header tasks for the outcomes and drop subtasks for daily next actions as you go. Hide all other lists for the week. Don't touch labels, priorities, or due dates except for your daily next action. Your feedback signal is a single today done task you check at the end. Let's contrast high-friction habits to avoid. Building custom taxonomies before you've shipped one deliverable this week. Migrating old tasks. Archive them. If something matters, it'll resurface in the weekly review. Designing elaborate tags and filters. If you're not actively using a tag in today's action, it's clutter. Overhauling during the week. Mid-week redesigns destroy learning. Keep a tweak later line, and keep moving. Here's a tiny story to cement this. Last week, a client planned to move everything into a new project tool. We capped setup at 15 minutes and forced what's open to win. She stayed in Google Calendar, blocked the first 90 minutes, and used a simple done, not done event. She shipped 2 client drafts by Wednesday. The difference? No migration, no tags, just a fast lane to action. You might be thinking, but my work is complex, I need structure. That's fair. Complexity needs rules, not more setups. Use constraints to manage it. Limit to one board or one note for the week, cap new fields, and push documentation to Friday's review. When in doubt, ask, will this change help me complete the next action today? If yes, keep it. If not, park it. Okay, so what about teams and mandated tools? Keep the team tool, but layer your personal friction rules on top. Create a personal this week view inside the team tool, or mirror today's next action into your notes. Your signal lives where you look daily. You're not rebelling, you're reducing friction to execute inside the existing system. Here's your 15-minute quick win. Right after this, set a timer. Choose the tool you're already in. Create this week. Write the 3 outcomes. Add today's one next action, and place your daily signal where you'll see it. When the timer ends, start the action immediately. Even 5 minutes counts. You'll feel the difference. Less prep, more movement. That's friction doing its job, staying out of your way. Principle 3. Single daily signal. Feedback. Scope gives you focus and friction gets you moving, but feedback is what keeps you going. Multiple dashboards feel impressive, but they split your attention and blur the story. You want one binary daily signal. Did the plan happen today? Yes or no? That's it. No grades, no vibes, no judgment. Because ambiguity invites overthinking, and overthinking invites stalls. Why one signal? Your brain needs a clean win to anchor motivation from the signal. When the signal is binary, you can't talk yourself into kinda worked. That clarity builds streaks, and streaks build momentum. The reason this works is you remove interpretation. The day either crossed the line or it didn't. That's honest and actionable. So what does a single daily signal look like in practice? 3 simple forms work across almost any setup: a daily checkmark, a streak counter, or a done/not done scoreboard. Pick one before you set anything up. The choice matters less than the visibility. Put it where you already look: calendar, notes, task app, or a sticky note on your monitor. Visibility beats sophistication. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Tie the signal to the plan, not to perfect outcomes. The signal is executed the plan, not finished everything. That way, you reward the behavior you control, showing up and running your next action, rather than punishing yourself for variables you can't control. If the plan was unrealistic, the signal still fires, and you learn at review. Data, not drama. Let me show you exactly how to set this up across contexts. Calendar signal. Add a 5-minute recurring event at the end of each workday titled Plan Executed, Yes, No. When it pops, you either type yes or no in the description and save. That creates a visible streak in your calendar history and a quick metric for Friday's review. If yes, green. If no, keep it default. The color tells the story at a glance. Notes signal. At the top of your weekly note, insert a tiny 7-box row labeled MTWTFSS. At the end of each day, put an X in the day's box if you executed your plan. Leave it blank if you didn't. That one row becomes your scoreboard. When you open the note, the signal greets you first. Task app signal. Create one task called Today Executed, with a due date every day at 5 p.m. When you complete your planned next action and do a 2-minute cleanup, check it off. If you want a streak, use the app's recurring completion history. Don't add subtasks. Keep it binary. Now, a concrete example. You scoped Ship Draft 1 of the client proposal. Your daily next action is outline section 2 from 9 o'clock to 9:45. At 5 p.m. you hit your signal. Did you execute the plan? If you outlined during the block or you legitimately rescheduled the block and still completed it, that's a yes. If you drifted and never ran the action, that's a no. Simple. No debating quality, no negotiating with yourself. Quality gets reviewed on Friday. Execution gets marked today. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't track vanity metrics like time in app, steps taken through a workflow, or number of tasks created. They feel like progress but don't map to execution. Don't rely on lagging indicators like, did the project ship, as the daily signal that's too slow and punishes good days that didn't finish yet. And don't build multiple boards to show the same thing. One signal beats 10 dashboards. Another mistake is hiding the signal. If you tuck it into a separate tracker you never see, it dies. Put it where your eyes land. If you live in Slack, add a private channel called Daily Signal and post yes or no at day's end. If paper rules your world, draw a tiny checkbox in the corner of today's page. The less distance between you and the signal, the better. What if your day goes sideways? Keep the rule. The signal reflects execution of the plan, not the fantasy. If you had to pivot for a true fire, update the plan in one line and run the new next action. If you executed that, mark yes. If you didn't, mark no and write one sentence. Blocker was X. That note fuels your 5-minute postmortem, not your inner critic. Here's a micro story. A student kept 3 trackers: tasks, habits, and study time. Motivation tanked because each tracker told a different story. We collapsed it to one. Completed 2 Pomodoro blocks tied to the week's outcomes, yes, no. Week 1, she hit 4 yeses, 2 nos, and learned that evenings were a trap. Week 2, she moved blocks to mornings and hit 6 yeses. The improvement came from the signal, not more tracking. Quick win to lock this in. Decide your signal right now. Say it out loud. My daily signal is. Then put it where you already look and schedule the 2-minute end-of-day check. Set the recurring reminder. When it fires today, answer yes or no and write one line. Worked/blocked/tweak. That's your loop. One signal, one story, steady momentum. Alesh. Deploying the filter in common scenarios. Let's run the filter through real life so you can copy-paste the moves. Writing block. Problem. You open a doc and freeze. Scope. 7 days. Objective is ship a rough draft. Outcomes. Outline. Ugly first draft. 10-minute polish. Daily next action. Start a 25-minute draft sprint at 9 o'clock. Friction. Use what's open. Google Docs or Notes. Then. Set a 15-minute timer to build version 1. Title the doc, Draft V1 Week of Date. Paste the outline skeleton and add today's sprint line at the top. Feedback. 1 signal. Draft started, yes, no, at 5 p.m. Run the sprint, mark yes. Common mistake to avoid. Collecting research instead of writing. If you catch yourself clipping links, pause and write 1 paragraph. The filter pushes you to output, not inputs. Inbox overwhelm. Problem. The count scares you into avoidance. Scope. Cut the inbox from chaos to controlled in 7 days. Outcomes. Daily 20 email triage. 2 30-minute reply blocks. Archive policy set. Daily next action. Triage 20 emails at 10:30. Friction. Stay in your current email client. Create 1 label called This Week Action, and a saved search for unread plus that label. Feedback. 1 signal. Inbox is less than or equal to 50 by 4 p.m. Yes, no. Triage means scan top 20, delete archive ruthlessly, label anything that needs a reply into This Week Action, and schedule 2 reply blocks on your calendar. Don't create filters today. Do that Friday if the signal shows it's worth it. Exam prep. Problem. You study, but it doesn't stick. Scope. Prepare for chapter 3 to 5 quiz this week. Outcomes. Watch lectures once. 60 practice questions. 1-page summary sheet. Oak. Daily next action. 2 Pomodoro blocks of practice questions at 8 o'clock. Friction. Use what's open your notes app and a timer. Make a single note. Quiz. Week of date. With 3 sections matching outcomes. Feedback. Signal is completed 2 blocks, yes, no. If evenings fail, move blocks to mornings. Common mistake. Counting hours instead of reps. Your signal is reps completed tied to outcomes, not study vibes. Fitness restart. Problem. Analysis paralysis on programs. Scope. Rebuild momentum with 4 sessions. Outcomes. 4 logged, 2 strength, 2 cardio, mobility twice. Daily next. Action. 20-minute session at lunch. Friction. No new app. Use your phone's calendar or a paper planner. Place 4 recurring 20-minute blocks. Feedback. A wall calendar or notes row with MTWTFSS. X the day if you moved. If motivation dips, shrink to 10 minutes. Don't program shop mid-week. On Friday, tweak only 1 lever. Time of day, not the entire routine. Business planning. Problem. thinking, never deciding. Scope. Run a weekly review that produces 3 priorities. Outcomes. Review metrics. Pick top 3. Schedule first actions. Daily next action. Monday, 8:30. Plan the week. Choose top 3 and block first actions. Friction. Stay in your calendar and notes. Create a pinned note weekly review with a checklist you reuse. What shipped, what blocked, what changes, top 3, schedule first blocks. Feedback, 1 signal. Review done by Monday, 9 a.m. Yes, no. If it slips, move it earlier, not longer. Client work juggling. Scope. Advance all active clients once this week. Outcomes. Each client gets 1 tangible deliverable or update. All next actions scheduled. Unblocked dependencies. Daily next action. First 90 minutes on client A draft. Friction. In your task app, 1 list, this week, clients, with each client as a header and a single next action underneath. Feedback. Moved each client this week, yes, no, on Friday, and a daily executed first 90 inches, yes, no. Don't build a CRM midweek. If you need reference data, link to existing folders. Content creation. Scope. Publish 1 piece this week. Outcomes. Outline, draft, edit and post. Daily next action. 15 headline options in 20 minutes. Friction. 1 doc. Add headers for each outcome. Keep links at the bottom. Feedback. Did the block today? Yes, no. If perfection creeps in, enforce time, caps. A messy draft posted beats a beautiful plan archived. Team tool mandates. Scope. Execute my personal overlay inside the team tool. Outcomes. Create 1, this week, view. Mirror today's next action to my notes. Set end of day signal. Daily next action. Drag my top task into today and do it at 9 o'clock. Friction. No new spaces, 1 custom view. Feedback. Plan executed, yes, no, in a private note or calendar. You're not fighting the team system, you're adding a lane that guarantees movement. Travel weeks. Scope. Keep the streak alive while traveling. Outcomes. Daily 30-minute focused block. 1 priority moved. Signal maintained. Daily next action. Run 1 30-minute block at the earliest slot. Friction. Use your phone's notes and calendar only. Feedback. A simple yes-no text to yourself or a notes checkbox. Lower the bar, keep the streak. Unexpected fire drills. Scope. Stabilize and document. Outcomes. Address the fire. Capture what broke. Create 1 rule to prevent repeat. Daily next action. Run 45 minutes on the fire, then 5-minute note. Friction. Same tools. Add 1 incident note. Feedback. Plan executed, yes, no. Fires happen. The filter keeps you from nuking your system. If you remember nothing else from these scenarios, remember this. The filter doesn't care about your tool. It cares about a 7-day scope, a 15-minute setup, and 1 daily signal. Decide fast, start faster, and let the week teach you what to tweak. Edge cases, complex work, and team tools. Let's handle the messy realities. Big, multi-quarter projects, mandated team tools, compliance-heavy workflows, multiple time zones, and the split brain problem, where your personal system fights your teams. The filter still works. You just apply it per slice, not globally. Projects first. Don't run the filter on the entire program. Run it on a sub-project that can move in 7 days. Scope shrinks from launch the platform to ship V1 onboarding flow copy, or finish the API error handling spec. If you can't define 3 outcomes and a daily next action for that slice, it's too big. Friction means you stay in the project's current tool so you don't lose shared context. Create a light this week view or tag only for your slice. Feedback is your personal daily signal plus a Friday yes/no. Did this sub-project move? You're layering speed on top of complexity, not refactoring the whole machine. Team mandates. If your company runs on Jira, Asana, Notion, whatever, keep it. Your personal overlay sits inside it. Scope is, move my top workstream this week. Friction is 1 custom view I can reach in 1 click, not a new workspace. That might be a saved search like, assignee, me plus status, in progress plus label, this week. Feedback is still binary. At day's end, plan executed, yes, no, in your calendar or a private note, and a simple weekly check. Did every active ticket advance at least one step? You respect the team's source of truth and create your own execution lane. Regulated workflows. You've got audit trails, SOPs, and must-use templates. Fine. The filter adapts by defining scope within those constraints. Complete validation protocol section A this week, with outcomes like draft, peer review, finalized in the official template. Friction is 0 new tools. Use the approved doc and a pinned checklist in your notes. Feedback is a daily executed plan, yes, no, and, if required, a compliance-friendly log entry you already make. The key is aligning your signal to the approved process so you're not running a shadow system. Multi-time zone. Coordination is the friction killer here. Scope is protect overlap plus one personal deep work block. Outcomes might be clear all blockers daily, deliver one artifact by Thursday, document decisions. Friction moves to the calendar. Block the overlap window for sync or rapid async handoffs, and guard one 60 to 90-minute personal block at your best energy time. Feedback is binary. Did I honor the overlap and run my deep work block? If coordination chaos hits, adjust your blocks, not your whole system. Avoid split brain. One source of truth for shared work. Your personal overlay is only for planning and your signal. Don't duplicate tasks across tools. Mirror today's one next action into your private note or calendar. Link to the team item and work from the link. If you catch yourself maintaining parallel lists, stop. The maintenance cost kills execution. The mental rule is, team tasks live in the team tool. My plan and signal live where I look. Use the filter per project lane. If you manage multiple domains, engineering, hiring, ops, each lane gets its own 7-day scope and one next action per day, but they share the same personal signal. You don't need 3 signals, you need one plan executed. On Friday, review lane by lane, scope yes, no, friction minutes, signal streak, and choose keep kill/tweak per lane. That keeps complexity modular. Here's a quick personal overlay you can write in 3 lines and paste into your notes. My 7-day scope is X. Today's one next action is Y. At time. End of day, plan executed yes, no. That's it. If you're in a team tool, add one link. Today's action, ticket, or doc link. You've now bridged the systems without doubling work. Common mistakes to watch for. Building a private replica of the team board. Don't. Creating status fields your team won't use. Don't. Moving reference docs into your personal notes. Link instead. Changing your workflow mid-week because the team changed a template. Mirror the change on Friday unless it blocks delivery. And the big one. Trying to make your personal overlay visible to everyone. If visibility is required, use the team tool's native features to expose the This Week view. Your overlay stays simple. What about cross-functional projects with dependencies? Scope your week around unblocking. Outcomes. Identify blockers. Send requests with deadlines. Deliver one artifact independent of blockers. Daily next action. Ship the artifact or send a nudge. Feedback. Plan executed yes, no. On Friday, log which dependencies slipped and set a rule. Escalate after 2 nudges. Rules, not tools. Smooth dependencies. Final note for leaders. If you manage people, your overlay adds one outcome. Team unblocked daily. ELF. That becomes a 5-minute afternoon sweep. Check your This Week team view, send the unblock, mark your signal. Your system's job is to protect their execution, not just yours. Quick win. Write your 3-line overlay now for the most complex thing on your plate. Keep the team tool as the source of truth. Layer your plan and signal on top, and run it for 7 days. You'll feel the difference. Less double entry, fewer midweek pivots, more forward motion. The default stack. A safe baseline when you're unsure. Sometimes you don't know which method to pick, and the clock is ticking. That's where the default stack comes in. A pre-vetted baseline that avoids decision stalls and gets you moving today. It's simple on purpose. Calendar for time, notes for capture, checklist for tasks. No switching midweek, no fancy integrations, just a reliable lane you can drive without thinking. Here's why this works. You already touch these tools. Your calendar shows your real day, your notes hold messy thinking, and a checklist turns intentions into action. When you lock these into a lightweight rhythm, you sidestep the best system trap and build momentum you can trust. Let me show you exactly how to run it. Morning plan, 5 minutes. Open your calendar and your weekly note. In the note, you've got 3 lines at the top. This week's objective, 3 outcomes, and today's 1 next action. Look at your calendar's first open block. Ideally, the first 60 to 90 minutes. Drop today's next action into that block with a clear verb. Draft intro section. Do 20 questions. Reach out to Sam. In the note, write the same action under today. This mirrors your plan across time and capture without duplication. Midday check-in, 2 minutes. Open the note, scan the 3 outcomes, and confirm the afternoon block still fits reality. If the morning slipped, drag the block. Don't redesign the plan. Add 1 bullet in the note. Blockers? Write a single line if something's in your way. If not, leave it blank and keep moving. The check-in exists to steer, not to rebuild. End of day signal, 2 minutes. Your calendar pops a tiny event at 5 p.m. Plan executed, yes, no. You type yes if you ran your planned blocks and did a 2-minute cleanup. Type no if you didn't. In your weekly note, add 3 lines. Worked, blocked, tweak. 1 sentence each. That's your neutral postmortem. No drama, just data. Now the tools. Kept minimal. Calendar for time. This is where you protect the first 90 minutes. Color those blocks green so your eyes know what matters. If emergencies hit, drag the block, not delete it. The rule is 1 protected block per, not perfect schedule. Notes for capture. 1 pinned weekly note titled Week of Date. Top section. Objective, outcomes, daily signal row, MTWTFSS. Middle section. Today's 1 next action. Bottom section. Scratchpad for thoughts, blockers, and tweaks. Resist the urge to create extra notes for each idea. If it's worth keeping, link it on Friday. All week, 1 note. Checklist for tasks. 1 simple list called This Week, with 3 header tasks matching your outcomes. Under each, drop micro actions as they appear. Do not use tags, priorities, or dates beyond today's next action. Hide other lists for the week so your attention isn't split. Rules that keep this baseline clean. No app changes mid-week. If you're curious, park it in a tweak later line. Only adjust at the weekly review. That's when you can move pieces or promote a new tool. Document 1 rule per tweak. If you change something, write the rule it supports. First 90 minutes protected. 2 blocks before noon. No new fields midweek. Archive aggressively. Old tasks get archived, not migrated. If it matters, it'll resurface. Common mistakes to avoid. Adding tools before behaviors exist. A CRM won't fix follow-through. Automations that save time but add setup. Fancy habit trackers layered on day 1. Splitting your plan across multiple dashboards. The default stack is boring by design. Boredom is a feature when what you need is execution. Here's a quick walkthrough you can copy today. Minute -3. Open your notes, create week of date. Write the objective and 3 outcomes. Add the 7-day signal row. Minute 3 to 8. Open your calendar. Block the first 60 to 90 minutes each weekday. Title each block with the next action for that day. Color green. Minute 8 to 12. Create a checklist this week. 3 headers for your outcomes, then today's 1 next action under the right header. Minute 12 to 15. Schedule the plan executed yes/no event at 5 p.m. daily. Close the setup and start the first 5 minutes of your next action immediately. If you feel the urge to optimize midweek, repeat the mantra. Decide less, move more. The default stack isn't forever. It's your safe baseline when you're unsure. Run it for 7 days. Review on Friday with the 3-question filter, and then keep, kill, or tweak 1 rule. 1 change at a time, 1 signal all week. That's how you build a system you trust. Trap 1. Comparison phase. Better versus best. Now here's where most people mess up, the comparison phase. On paper, comparison sounds smart. In practice, chasing best turns a simple decision into an infinite maze. The fix is shifting from best to better than yesterday and enforcing it with a tiny bake-off. Why best fails. Criteria keep moving. You start with help me plan this week, then upgrade mid-scroll to handle every life domain, then must integrate with everything, and finally be future-proof. No real tool survives that morphing wish list. Best becomes a mirage that keeps you researching. So what do we do instead? We lock the target and shrink it. The question is, which option gets me to a working 7-day plan faster with one clear signal? That's it. If a feature doesn't help that, it's noise. Here are 3 heuristics that make better than yesterday concrete. Fewer clicks. The option that gets you to today's next action in the fewest moves wins. If your hand travels less, your brain argues less. Faster start. The option that produces a working V1 within 10 to 15 minutes wins. If you can't get to the first block quickly, the week's already wobbling. Clearer signal. The option that makes your daily yes/no most visible wins. If you can't see the scoreboard, motivation leaks. Now, the 10-minute bake-off. Set a timer for 10. Put 2 contenders side by side. Maybe your current notes app versus that shiny task tool you're tempted by. Run the same microtask through both. Write your 7-day objective. List the 3 outcomes. Create today's one next action. And place your end-of-day signal. Stop when the timer ends. Pick the one that's closer to done. Not prettier. Closer to done. A lot of people will try to load the bake-off with edge case questions. What if I need sub-projects next quarter? What if I scale to a team? Not this week's problem. If an edge case matters today, it'll show up in the bake-off. If it doesn't, it's a distraction. Let me show you exactly how this looks in real time. You're torn between a new task app and your calendar first flow. Timer on. In the task app, you create this week. Add outcomes, add today's action, try to set a daily reminder, and get pulled into tags. That took 7 minutes and you're tinkering. In your calendar, you block the first 90, title it with today's action, add a 5 p.m. yes/no event, color green. 4 minutes, ready to run. Calendar wins. It's not best, it's better right now. Or you're choosing between a physical notebook and notes on your phone. Timer on. Notebook. Title week of date, write outcomes, write today's action, draw the MTWTFSS boxes. Done in 5. Phone. New note, same structure, then you spend 3 minutes deciding on a tag. Notebook wins this week because it got you to clarity faster. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. Your past week is a baseline. Better than yesterday means one of 3 things. Fewer steps to start, fewer distractions, or a more visible signal. If your new option doesn't beat at least one of those by a noticeable amount in 10 minutes, it's not better. Park it. Another move, name your disqualifiers before you compare. For example, if it can't be set up in 15 minutes with tools I already use, it's out. If my daily signal isn't visible where I look, it's out. If I can't define a 7-day scope easily, it's out. Pre-committing blocks the goalpost shift. Common mistakes to avoid in this phase. Researching features you won't touch this week. If it's not tied to the next action or the signal, skip it. Watching, set up tours instead of building your V1. Tours feel productive. They delay the only thing that matters. Starting. Declaring ties. If 2 options feel equal, pick the one you're already in. Familiarity reduces friction. The bias toward your current tool is a feature for momentum. Quick win. Right after this, run a 10-minute bake-off between your top 2 options. Time the setup to a working V1 and the first action. Pick the winner, lock it for 7 days, and write the rule you just proved. Calendar first beats task app on speed to start, or notebook beats notes on visibility. That's the move from best to better, and that's how you escape comparison quicksand. Trap 2. Implementation failure. Rules, not tools. This next part separates beginners from pros. Systems don't fail because the app is weak. They fail because there are no rules to run them. Tools are containers. Rules are the fuel, the road, and the speed limit. Without them, you build a shiny garage and never drive. Let me show you the minimum rules that keep any setup alive. 3 daily, 2 weekly. Daily, make a plan, protect a block, mark the signal. Weekly, review and clean. That's it. If you install these, your current tool suddenly looks good enough, because the behavior carries the load. Daily plan. Each morning, write today's one next action tied to a weekly outcome, and put it on the calendar or at the top of your note. Name the start time. If the day's packed, choose the smallest meaningful slice. No list explosion. One line forces clarity. Protect a hard block. Guard the first 60 to 90 minutes for that action. If your job can't support that, choose the earliest defensible slot and defend it with a simple rule. Move once, don't delete. When people say a system failed, what usually failed was this: protection. Mark the signal. At day's end, answer your binary yes/no. If no, write one sentence. What blocked you? Not a story, just the obstacle. That line becomes your fix fuel on Friday. The signal is the accountability, not the punishment. Weekly review. 15 minutes, timer on. Check your scoreboard. How many yeses? Scan what shipped, what blocked, what changes. Decide keep/kill/tweak for one rule, not the tool. If momentum's low, shorten the block or move it earlier. If you keep slipping after noon, front load your action. You're adjusting rules to reality, not rearranging furniture. Cleanup ritual. Archive old tasks, clear the scratch pad, and reset this week. If your space gets crusty, your brain hesitates. A 2-minute cleanup daily plus a 5-minute Friday archive prevents mess from masquerading as complexity. Complexity didn't beat you, dust did. Here's what implementation failure looks like in the wild. You adopt a new app, build intricate projects, and never define a daily block. The week begins, meetings expand, your action floats, the signal never fires, and on Wednesday you declare the app unhelpful. The tool didn't fail. The rule, first 90 protected, was never installed. Or you captured dozens of tasks but never linked them to 3 weekly outcomes. The list swells, selection gets fuzzy, and you stall. Missing rule. One next action tied to an outcome, every morning. Let me convert chaos into rules with what you already have. Say your notes are bloated and your tasks live everywhere. Rule 1. One pinned weekly note, nothing else for 7 days. Rule 2. Today's action goes on the calendar at a specific time. Rule 3. 2-minute tidy at close. You didn't change tools, you changed behavior. Watch how fast friction drops. Now, common mistakes to blaming the app before you test the rules for a full week. Switching mid-week when the first rough day hits. Adding more dashboards to gain visibility, which dilutes your single signal. Writing rules so complex you can't remember them under stress. If you can't say a rule in one breath, it's too heavy. Here's a micro story. A manager told me their team needed Notion because Asana was failing. We kept Asana, added 3 rules. A daily 15-minute today curate, a protected 60-minute focus block, and a 5-minute end-of-day yes-no. In 2 weeks, throughput jumped. Same tool, new rules. The thing most people miss is that culture is just rules we keep. Your personal system is the same. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Tools hold your work. Rules move it. Install the daily plan, protect one block, mark the signal, review on Friday, and clean as you go. Do that for 7 days. Then judge the tool. Trap 3. Shame reset neutral postmortems. Here's the mistake that quietly kills good weeks. One bad day becomes a verdict on you, so you torch the system and start over. That's the shame reset. It feels clean, but it erases learning. We're replacing it with a neutral postmortem, fast, factual, and focused on the next tweak. Why shame wrecks progress? It confuses identity with data. A missed signal turns into "I'm unreliable," so you seek relief by switching tools. Relief is not improvement. A neutral postmortem keeps the story about the system, not your worth. Data, not drama. What does neutral look like? 3 lines, 5 minutes, max. Right. What worked, what blocked, one tweak. That's it. No spirals, no glossy narratives, no future vows. You're closing the loop, so tomorrow starts clean. Let me show you exactly how to run it. Set a recurring 5-minute event at the end of your workday labeled Postmortem. When it fires, open your weekly note or calendar event and write 3 bullets. Worked. Name one thing that moved the day. Blocked. The smallest true obstacle. Tweak. One rule change you'll test tomorrow. Keep the language clinical. Worked. 90-minute morning block held. Blocked. Slack pings at 9:20. Tweak. Set Slack to do not disturb 9-10 to 30. See the pattern? We're not judging, we're designing. Why this works. It preserves momentum and protects identity. Bad days become useful data points. Patterns show up quickly. Late starts, overstuffed mornings, meetings that creaks. And because the tweak is one rule, not a new app, you learn which lever actually moves the needle. Now, a concrete example. You planned outline section 2 at 9 o'clock, but a meeting popped in and you drifted. Postmortem. Worked. Prep for client call done early. Blocked. No calendar defense on the first 90. Tweak. Decline or move non-critical 9 a.m. meetings. If forced, pre-block 7:45 to 8:30. Tomorrow, you enforce the tweak. If it holds, keep it. If it fails, adjust again Friday. The system evolves. You don't explode it. Let's talk about tone. Neutral doesn't mean numb, it means precise. Replace "I'm so behind" with "2 outcomes untouched. Block moved to 3 p.m. failed." Replace "I have no discipline" with "plan lacked a contingency for the audit request." Precision shrinks the problem to a fixable size. Common mistakes to avoid. Turning the postmortem into a diary. Keep it to 3 lines. Depth happens weekly. Stacking multiple tweaks. One change per day keeps the signal interpretable. Blaming personality traits. Traits don't change by tomorrow, rules do. Skipping after a yes day. Capture what worked so you can standardize wins. Here's a micro story. Founder kept abandoning setups after chaotic Tuesdays. We installed the neutral postmortem. Week 1, the pattern popped. Partner updates always landed at 10 o'clock and bled into noon. Tweak. Move the protected block to 7:30 to 9 o'clock on Tuesdays only. The streak recovered. Same tools, fewer meltdowns. Because the postmortem surfaced a rule change. Integrate the postmortem with your single signal. If the answer is no, you must write the 3 lines before you leave. If yes, still write them. Lock in the win and the lever that made it happen. On Friday, scan the week's tweaks. Choose one to promote into a permanent rule, one to kill, and leave the rest as experiments. That's how the system matures without ballooning. Here's your 5-minute ritual. Minute -1. Mark yes, no. Minute 1 to 3. What worked, what blocked. Minute 3 to 5. One tweak for tomorrow. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Bad days aren't a reason to reboot. They're a reason to refine. Neutral postmortems turn shame into signal, and signal into a small, testable rule. Run the 3 lines tonight, and you'll start tomorrow with clarity instead of penance. The 7-day trial protocol. Let's lock this in with a clean, repeatable week. This is the protocol that turns the 3-question filter into movement and proof. Commit to 1 week, no midweek rebuilds, and let the signal do the judging. Commit. Say it out loud. For 7 days, I'm testing a simple setup using my 3-question filter. That means you pick a scope, keep setup under 15 minutes with tools you already use, and choose one daily signal. You are not marrying a tool. You're running an experiment. Here's the daily cadence. Morning. Plan. Write today's one next action tied to your weekly outcome, and put it on your calendar or at the top of your note with a start. Midday. Do. Protect your block and run it, even if you need to shrink it. End of day. Signal and a tiny postmortem. Search. Mark yes/no, and write 3 lines, worked, blocked, tweak. That's the loop. Predefine your midweek adjustment so it doesn't become a redesign. 2 guardrails. You may move the time of your protected block once per day if reality hits, and you may shrink the block to a smaller slice, for example, from 60 to 25 minutes. You may not add tools, rebuild spaces, or change your signal. When in doubt, run the smaller version rather than change the system. Friday review is where you make the call. Keep, kill, or tweak. Set a 15-minute timer. Open your scoreboard. Count your yeses. Scan your 3-line post-mortems. Ask 3 questions. Did the scope fit my real week? Did friction stay under 15 minutes per day? Did the single signal stay visible and honest? Then decide one move. Keep means run the same setup next week. Kill means drop an element that didn't pull its weight. Tweak means one rule change, not a tool change. Use a simple scorecard to keep it objective. Scope. Yes, no. Did you hit your 3 outcomes or make credible progress according to the week's plan? Friction. How many minutes did setup and maintenance actually take most days, under 15 or over? Signal streak. How many yeses out of 7? If streak is under 3, your block is likely too late or too long. If friction was high, you added extras. If scope missed wildly, tighten outcomes next week. Let me give you exact scripts to lower resistance. Start script. For 7 days, I'm testing calendar first, notes first, task light, with a daily yes-no signal at 5 p.m. Plan script. Today's one next action is herb plus object at time. Reset script when a day goes sideways. Blocker was tweak. For tomorrow, team script. I'm trialing a personal overlay for focus this week. 1 daily block on workstream, end of day yes, no. No changes to our team tool. Review script. Keep/kills tweak because signal and friction data. A quick example week in motion. Monday, you set your scope. Ship draft 1 of client proposal. Outcomes. Outline, draft, review pass. Your daily next action is outline sections A and B at 9 o'clock. You run it. Mark yes, post-mortem. Worked, protected block. Blocked, slack pings. Tweak. Do not disturb 9-10 to 30. Tuesday, draft section A at 9 o'clock. Yes. Wednesday, meeting lands at 9:30. You move the block to 7:45 and shrink to 45 minutes. Yes. Thursday, energy is low. You keep the slot, lower the bar to 20 minutes, and still mark yes. Friday, review pass in the morning. Yes. Score. 5 yeses, friction under 10 minutes, scope met. Keep. Edge case example. You're in a team tool with heavy processes. You still run the protocols. Advanced ticket ABC 123 from in progress to review. Daily next action. Write test cases 1 to 3 at 8:30. Your signal lives in your calendar. Midweek, the template changes. You note it in your post-mortem and adjust Friday, not that afternoon. Friday, streak is 4 yeses, but friction spiked to 25 minutes on 2 days because of template confusion. Tweak. Spend 5 minutes Monday morning creating a one-click This Week view and pin the official template link at the top of your note. No rebuild. Common pitfalls during the trial. Sneaking in a new app just to try. Don't. Expanding the scope midweek because you feel good. Don't. Changing 2 variables at once, like tool and time of day. Don't. If you must change something to keep moving, make it the smallest rule that protects execution, time or length of block. Document it. Your success metric is boring on purpose. It's not how inspired you felt. It's how many days your plan executed, how small your setup stayed, and whether the weekly outcomes moved. If you hit 4 or more yeses, you're building momentum. If you hit 2 or fewer, make the block earlier, shorter, and more protected, then try again. Run this protocol once, and you'll see the pattern. Decide fast, start faster, and let the week teach you precisely what to tweak. That's how you escape the best system. Lie and build a system you trust. Scripts and templates. Language that lowers resistance. Let's drop in the exact lines you can copy so your brain stops negotiating. Use these as is for the next 7 days, then tweak the words once the habit sticks. Start script. Say this out loud and paste it at the top of your weekly note. For 7 days, I'm testing calendar first, notes first, task light, using the 3-question filter. Daily signal at 5 p.m. Plan executed yes, no. This plants the container, the method, and the signal in one breath. If you lead a team, add, no changes to team tools. This is my personal overlay. Plan script. Each morning, write, today's one next action is herb plus object at time. Keep it boring and specific. Draft intro section at 9 o'clock. Do 20 practice questions at 7:30. Send update email to Jill at 2:15. If the day is chaotic, shrink it. Outline bullets for 15 minutes at 8 o'clock. The point is a start line you can't argue with. Reset script. When a day goes sideways, type. Blocker was tweak for tomorrow. Example. Blocker was unexpected audit ping. Tweak. Move protected block to 7:45. You're not venting. You're designing the next iteration. Team script. When you need to explain your overlay without drama, use I'm trialing a personal focus overlay for 7 days. One protected block on workstream each morning, and a yes-no end-of-day signal. No change to team process. This just guarantees my deliverables move. This reduces friction with stakeholders and prevents tool debates. Review script. On Friday, read your week and write. Keep kills tweak because signal and friction data. Examples. Keep calendar first, 5 yeses, set up under 10 minutes. Kill label, only categorizing, adds clicks, no lift. Tweak block earlier, afternoons slipped. Decisions driven by data, not vibes. Daily signal script. At 5 p.m., type one word in your event or note, yes or no. If you want the 3-line postmortem, append. Worked, blocked, tweak. Fast, neutral, done. Meeting defense script. To protect your block, use. I have a prior focus commitment 9-10 to 30. Can we move this to 11 o'clock or share async notes? If it must stay, say, I can adjust today, moving my block earlier tomorrow. You honored reality and protected the pattern. Calendar title script. Name blocks with verbs so you don't forget the outcome. Outline section 2. Edit draft paragraph 1. Push ticket ABC 123 to review. 40 practice questions. No vague labels like focus or deep work. Verbs drive action. Inbox triage script. For the first 20 emails, delete/archive anything not needed. If reply takes under 2 minutes, do it. If longer, apply. This week, action. And schedule 2 reply blocks. That's your rule in a sentence. Triage, act, or schedule. Travel week script. 1 30-minute block at the earliest slot. Signal stays. Use your phone only. Lower the bar, keep the streak. You're defending momentum, not optimizing. Energy dip script. Lower the bar, keep the block. Then specify. Switch to 10 minutes. Easiest slice. Momentum first, ambition later. Edge case script. When complexity tempts a rebuild. Not this week, one change only. Time length rule. Evaluate Friday. It stops scope creep. Bake-off script. 10-minute bake-off. Write scope, outcomes, today's action, and place signal in both options. Pick the one closer to done. Then write the verdict. Winner. For fewer clicks and a clearer signal. One-line overlay for team tools. Paste this atop your ticket or doc. Today's one next action. Herb plus object at time. Add your private calendar link to the block. Work flows from the shared truth. Your plan stays personal. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Scripts remove negotiation. Copy these lines into your weekly note right now. Read them out loud once. Then run the first one. Today's one next action is. And start the smallest possible slice. The language does the lifting until the habit takes over. Fast wins from real users. Case 1. A freelancer who'd been app hopping every other week. We ran a 7-day calendar first trial. Scope. Shipped 2 client drafts. Friction. 15-minute setup. Block first 90 minutes daily. Title each block with the next action. At a 5 p.m. yes-no event. Feedback. Binary signal. Day 1 was wobbly, but she marked yes 3 days straight. Learned Slack needed do not disturb 9-10 to 30, and by Wednesday she'd shipped draft 1. Friday review. 5 yeses, friction under 10, scope met. Rule promoted. First 90 locked, no midweek app changes. The win wasn't the calendar, it was the rule plus the signal. Case 2. A student stuck in planner shuffle. We collapsed everything into one note. Scope. Chapters 3 to 5 quiz. Outcomes. Lectures watched, 60 practice questions, one-page summary. Friction, a single weekly note and a timer. Feedback, 2 Pomodoro blocks, yes, no. Leak 1, 4 yeses, 2 nos. Postmortems showed evenings failed. Week 2, blocks moved to mornings, 6 yeses, quiz score jumped. The insight, track reps tied to outcomes, not hours or vibes. The rule that mattered, morning blocks before social and group chats. Case 3, a manager drowning in a team tool. We kept the team tool, added a personal overlay. Scope, advance each active client once. Friction, 1, this week view, with each client's next action. No new spaces. Feedback, daily yes-no and a Friday check. Did each client move? In 2 weeks, they cut status meetings because the this week view handled visibility. The rule that mattered, 1 next action per client, protected first 90, signal at 5 p.m. Common thread across all 3, 7-day scope, 15-minute setup with current tools, 1 daily signal. They didn't change who they were, they changed the cost of starting and the clarity of finishing. And the tiny scripts helped, saying, today's 1 next action is, ended negotiation. Writing, worked, blocked, tweak, turned fails into fuel. If you're still thinking your situation is special, start with the smallest slice. 1 client, 1 class, 1 content piece. Run the filter for 7 days. Decide fast, start faster, and let the data tell you the next rule. Stacking the filter with energy and context. Now that you've got the filter working, here's how to stack it so it fits how your brain and day actually run. This is where you get leverage without adding complexity. Match your energy, bundle context, defend time, and keep the week rolling without redesigning. Let's start with energy matching. The thing most people miss is that the same task feels completely different at 8 a.m. versus 3 p.m. If you plan high cognitive work in a low energy slot, you'll optimize forever and still stall. So we align work type to energy state. 3 buckets keep it simple: high focus, medium focus, and low focus. High focus is drafting, coding, analysis, writing test cases, anything that pulls real mental weight. Medium focus is editing, reviewing, light planning. Low focus is admin, filing, inbox, formatting. The rule: schedule 1 high focus block in your highest energy window, medium later, low at the edges. If you don't know your windows yet, run a quick test week. For 3 days, put your hardest slice at 9 o'clock and log how it felt in your post-mortem. For 2 days, try 1 o'clock. Your streak will tell you which wins. Data, not vibes. Here's the shortcut nobody teaches. When energy is low but the plan says hard thing, keep the block and shrink the slice. Switch from write 2 sections to outline bullets for 10 minutes. You protect the habit of showing up in that, which preserves your circadian groove. Later, when energy is back, you expand. You didn't move the block, you lowered the bar. Next, context bundles. Context is the set of tools, tabs, people, and brain state you need to do a type of work. Switching contexts burns time and willpower. So we pre-group related actions into bundles you can run without resetting your brain. Think of them as mini kits you grab. Here's how to set it up without adding complexity. Pick 2 bundles that matter this week. Example: writing bundle and ops bundle. For writing, 1 doc holds the outline, draft, and edit checklists. For ops, 1 note has the links you touch, finance sheet, CRM, team board, and a tiny checklist. Invoices, approvals, status updates. In your morning plan, when you schedule writing, you're automatically opening the writing doc. When you schedule ops, you open the ops note and sweep through. You're not creating new tools, you're grouping the ones you already use, so the first minute of the block isn't hunting. A concrete example: you run content and client work. Monday, 9 o'clock, is your high-focus writing slot. Your calendar block is Draft Client A Intro. The bundle is 1 doc titled Client A Draft Version 1, with an outline at the top and the brief pasted below. At 11:30, you switch to Ops. Your Ops week of date note has 3 links and a checklist you reuse. Invoices, contract follow-ups, 2 team replies. That switching is 1 click, not a scavenger hunt. Now, time defense. The tool isn't the fix, the rule is. Your first 90 minutes are default protected. If you can't afford 90, protect 60. If 60 is impossible, protect 25. The principle holds. Defend the earliest meaningful block. Use simple guardrails. Block the time on your calendar, set Do Not Disturb, and name the block with a verb. When interruptions are non-negotiable, add a visible boundary. A status message that says, heads down 8:30 to 9:30, replies at 10 o'clock. You're training your environment to respect the pattern. Add a pre-block routine so the block starts clean, 2 minutes max. Close unrelated tabs, open the bundle, write the first line you'll execute. For writing, type the first sentence you'll draft. For coding, paste the function signature you'll implement. For studying, cue the first question set. This tiny routine removes the cold start and increases the odds your signal fires. Let's talk rolling weekly so you don't redesign every Friday. Rolling weekly means your plan rolls forward. You don't rebuild the system. Unfinished outcomes carry forward as is, but you tighten the next actions. On Friday, you run the review, pick keep/kill/tweak, and then drag any unfinished outcome to next week's note, add a fresh next action, and keep the same bundles and signal. Resist the urge to restructure categories or rename everything. Stability beats novelty. The only changes are the one rule you're testing and the next action you'll run. Here's how energy and context stack into rolling weekly in practice. Week 1, your post-mortems show the 9 o'clock writing block worked 4 days, but Wednesday slipped. Tweak. Move Wednesday's high focus to 7:45 because of the recurring stand-up. For context, your ops bundle felt scattered on Tuesday. Tweak. Add one link you kept hunting for. Everything else stays. You didn't redesign. You nudged. A few advanced plays that fit inside the filter. Energy flagging. In your weekly note, add a tiny line under outcomes. HM/L windows. For example, H, 8:30-11, M, 1 to 3, L, 3 to 5. Plan the hard slice into H, the rest falls into place. If your job dictates, you still protect one H slot most days, even if it's 45 minutes. Context pre-flight. The afternoon before a big morning block, spend 3 minutes prepping the bundle. Open the doc, drop the outline headers, paste the references. You're making tomorrow's start line obvious. It fits the friction rule because you're using current tools and it takes under 5 minutes. Pairing low with low. When energy is low, pair low focus work with low friction environments. Stand up, walk, or sit somewhere different. Don't waste your best chair on inbox. The 2-sprint variant. If 90 minutes is hard, run 2 25-minute sprints with a 5-minute break. The signal still fires if both sprints execute. If only one happens, log it and adjust next week. Common mistakes when stacking. Creating too many bundles, which turns into another system to maintain. Cap it at 2 or 3. Using energy as an excuse to avoid hard work entirely. You still run a hard slice daily. You scale the size to the slot. Over-customizing per day until you can't remember the pattern. Keep one default, with one known exception if needed. Quick win. Right now, write your energy windows for the next week. Best guess, and pick 2 context bundles. Add a 2-minute pre-block routine to your calendar description. Open, bundle, write first line. Then protect the earliest daily block you can, even if it's 25 minutes. On Friday, promote one tweak that clearly helped earlier slot, tighter bundle, or clearer pre-block, and keep everything else steady. This is how you layer sophistication without losing speed. Maintenance. Weekly reviews that don't spiral. Wait. Weekly reviews are where good systems go to die, because people turn them into research sessions. We're not doing that. This is a 15-minute cap with a checklist that protects and keeps you out of tool tinkering. Here's the checklist you'll run every Friday. Timer on for 15. Scoreboard snapshot. Count your yes/no signals for the week. That's your objective reality. If you hit 4 or more yeses, momentum is building. If you hit 2 or fewer, your block is probably too late or too long. Note that for tweaks. Lens. What shipped? List the tangible outcomes moved. Drafts, tickets advanced, reps completed. 1 line per outcome, max 5 lines. This anchors the week in evidence, not feelings. What blocked? Name the smallest true obstacle. Time of day, meetings, energy dip, missing info. Precision beats story. You're looking for repeatable patterns you can design around. What changes? Choose keep/kill/tweak for one rule only. Keep means run it again as is. Kill means drop this element entirely for now. Tweak means adjust one variable time, length, or protection next week. No tool swaps unless the filter demands it. Archive and reset. Archive done tasks. Move unfinished outcomes to next week's note, and set Monday's first action on your calendar. 2 minutes. No rabbit holes. The questions that unlock clarity are simple. What shipped? What blocked? What changes? Answer them in that order. Shipped first keeps you out of doom mode. Blocked identifies friction. Changes turns that into one rule you'll test. Let me show you exactly how this plays out. You open your weekly note. Scoreboard says 5 yeses. Shipped. Proposal draft delivered. 40 practice questions done. Ops checklist swept 3 times. Blocked. Tuesday 9 a.m. stand-up overflow. Thursday afternoon energy crash. Changes. Keep first 90 protected. Tweak Wednesday block earlier because of the recurring stand-up. Kill afternoon ops because it keeps slipping. Move ops to late morning. Archive. Move edit pass to next week's note. Title Monday's block. Edit section 2 9 o'clock. And you're done. 15 minutes, timer still ticking down. What if the week went sideways? Scoreboard says 2 yeses. Shipped. 1 outline, 1 review pass. Blocked. Mornings were booked. Afternoons cluttered with slack. Else. Changes. Tweak the time. Move the protected block to 7:45 to 8:30. Shrink to 45 minutes and set Do Not Disturb. Kill any second daily block experiment that didn't happen. Archive. Reset Monday with the new slot. You didn't change tools. You lowered the cost of showing up. Keep the review from spiraling with 2 guardrails. First, a parking lot line in your note. Tweak later. When optimization ideas pop up, new template, different app, dump them there and move on. You'll evaluate against the filter next Friday, not now. Second, repeat the rule, 1 change per week. If you change time and workflow and tool, you won't know what worked. 1 lever preserves the signal. Here's how to use the filter inside the review without exploding it. Ask the 3 questions quickly. Did the 7-day scope fit reality? Was setup and maintenance under 15 minutes most days? Did the daily signal stay visible and honest? If you get 2 yeses or more, you keep or tweak. If you get fewer than 2, you default to the baseline calendar, note, checklist next week, and test 1 rule from your postmortems. The filter keeps the review decisive. Archive rules should stay simple, searchable, minimal. 1 weekly note per week, archived by date. Completed tasks disappear from your This Week list. Reference gets linked, not duplicated. If you need an artifact later, you'll find it via search because you titled things clearly. Week of date. Client A, draft V1. Ops, week of date. Build a taxonomy mid-review. That's maintenance theater. A quick micro example. A content creator's reviews kept turning into tag cleanups. Wait. We installed a hard 15-minute cap and a 3-line decision format. Keep, calendar first blocks. Kill, tags on tasks. Tweak, pre-block routine. Write first line before 9 o'clock. In 2 weeks, output went up, and the urge to reorganize went down. The thing most people miss is that the review is for decisions, not documentation. Common mistakes that make reviews spiral. Rereading notes instead of summarizing shipped/blocked. Letting tweak later items hijack the session. Expanding scope for next week because you feel behind. Turning archive into a filing project. Fixes are straightforward. Summarize, don't reread. Park ideas, don't act on them. Plan the same-sized week, not a guilt-fueled one. Archive with 1 rule. If it's done, archive. If it's active, move. If it's neither, delete. Tie the review to your single signal to keep it honest. If the streak is high and outcomes moved, keep the rules steady. If the streak is low, adjust the earliest lever time and length before you touch anything else. Your system evolves through small, measured changes, not big rebuilds. Quick win. Put a 15-minute weekly review on your calendar for Friday. Paste this checklist into the event. Scoreboard, right-pointing arrow, shift right-pointing arrow, blocked right-pointing arrow. Keep/kill/tweak, right-pointing arrow, archive/reset. Add one line at the bottom. One change only. When the timer ends, you end. That constraint keeps you out of the spiral and inside the rhythm that actually moves your week. The one mistake that makes optimization 10x slower. Here's the mistake that quietly destroys learning speed: changing multiple variables at once. New app, new workflow, new rituals, new time of day, all at the same time. It feels like a fresh start. It kills signal. When the week ends, you don't know which change helped, which hurt, or what to keep. So you reset again. That's how months disappear into system work without better output. The reason this kills progress is simple. You need a clean signal to learn. If you adjust 3 levers at once, tool, rules, and schedule, your yes-no streak can't teach you anything. A good week? You won't know why. A bad week? You'll blame the thing that felt most unfamiliar and jump ship. You didn't test. You scrambled. The brain prefers novelty, but growth prefers isolation. So here's the rule. 1 change per week and measure the signal. You pick a single lever, time, length, or protection, and you hold everything else steady. If you must test a tool, keep your rules identical. If you must test rules, keep your tool identical. That way, Friday's review has a clean story. Moved the block from 1 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Signal went from 2 to 5 yeses. That's evidence. Next week, you either lock that rule or try a different single lever. Let me show you exactly how this plays out. Scenario 1. You're tempted to switch to a new app and start a new morning routine at the same time. Don't. If the goal is clarity, you choose. If the new app is calling your name, move your current routine into it for 7 days without changing times or rituals. Same morning block, same daily signal, same outcomes. Friday. Judge the app on friction minutes and signal streak next week. If you still want a better morning, keep the app steady and shift the time. Clean weeks. 2 clear lessons. Scenario 2. Your afternoons keep failing. Instead of adding a second app, a new tagging system, and a different calendar, you reduce the lever. Change only the time. Move the protected block to the earliest defensible slot. Shrink it to 45 or 25 minutes and run the week. Everything else stays. Same note, same checklist, same signal. If your yeses jump, you've found the lever. Promote it. Another example with teams. Your leader pushes a new template mid-week and your instinct is to rebuild your personal setup to match. Don't. Mirror the minimum in the team tool and leave your overlay untouched until Friday. 1 lever per week protects throughput while you absorb change. On Friday, if friction spiked, your tweak is tiny. Pin the new template link in your weekly note or save a one-click this week view. No wholesale redesign. Here's the pattern that makes this stick. Name the lever you're testing: time, length, or protection. If it's a tool test, say that explicitly and keep rules steady. Write the success metric up front. Streak moves from 2 yeses to 4, or setup stays under 10 minutes daily. Run the 7-day trial with no midweek changes except moving or shrinking the block. On Friday, decide keep/kill/tweak based on the signal and friction, not how it felt. A concrete contrast to make this vivid. Week A, you switch from calendar first to a new task app, add custom fields, move your protected block to 11 o'clock, and start a second afternoon block. Streak. 3 yeses, you're exhausted and you don't know what helped. Week B, you stay calendar first and change 1 lever. Shift the block to 8:30. Streak. 5 yeses. You learned something you can repeat. Small levers beat big remodels. Common mistakes to avoid. Bundling experiments. I'll try. Morning blocks and a new tool and Pomodoros. That's 3 changes. Pick 1. Changing the signal. Keep the yes/no identical so you can compare weeks. Ignoring friction. If your improvement raises setup above 15 minutes a day, the week won't hold. Chasing feelings. A setup can feel exciting and deliver fewer yeses. Trust the scoreboard. Quick win. Pick one lever for next week only. Write it down now. Testing earlier time, 8 o'clock to 8:45. Or, testing protection, do not disturb plus status message. Or, testing tool, same rules in app, add the success metric. Goal, 4 yeses. Then stop. You just gave yourself a clean test that will teach you something you can keep. You only need a system that fits the next 7 days, not forever. That one shift turns best into better now, which is the only path that compounds. The tool isn't the fix, the rule is. Protect one block, write one next action, mark one signal, and watch your current setup turn good enough. One signal beats 10 dashboards. A visible yes-no at day's end drives more follow-through than a dozen charts you never check when it's crunch time. Decide in 60 seconds, start in 15. Use the 3-question filter right now. Scope for 7 days, set up under 15 with current tools, 1 daily signal. Don't change 2 things at once. 1 lever per week gives you a clean lesson to keep. That's how you build a system you trust, one small win at a time. Today's execution. 15-minute launch plan. Let's launch this right now. Set a 15-minute timer and follow me beat for beat. When the timer ends, your week is set and your system is running. No rebuilds, no extra apps. Minute -3. Write your 7-day scope. Open your current notes app or grab your notebook. Title it, Week of Date. Under that, write 3 lines labeled Outcomes. 1 to 3. These are concrete, finishable outcomes, not hopes. Draft client proposal. Finish chapters 3 to 5 practice. Ship internal ops checklist 3 times. Now add one more line. Why this week matters. 1 sentence. It locks focus. You've just constrained the horizon. Minute 3 to 8. Choose your method using the 3-question filter. Ask. Scope. Does this setup work for the next 7 days, not forever? If yes, keep going. Friction. Can I set it up in under 15 minutes with tools I already use? If yes, keep going. Feedback. Will it give me one clear daily signal I completed the plan? If yes, you've got your method. If you get 3 yeses, lock it. 2 yeses? Start anyway with a constraint. Keep it to the tools that are already open. Fewer than 2? Default to the baseline. Calendar for time, notes for capture, checklist for tasks. Right now, decide. Don't research. If you're between 2 options, do a 3-minute mini bake-off. Create the weekly title, list the 3 outcomes, write today's 1 next action, place a 5 p.m. yes/no event in both. Pick the one closer to done. You're not marrying the tool, you're renting it for 7 days. Minute 8 to 12. Set the daily signal. Open your calendar and create a recurring 5 p.m. event for this week. Daily signal. Plan executed? Yes, no. Or, if your notes first, add a bold line at the bottom of your weekly note. Signal. Yes, no. That's your scoreboard. Now protect tomorrow's block. Create a calendar event in your earliest defensible slot, 25 to 90 minutes, titled with a verb. Outline section A. Write 20 questions. Push ticket ABC 123 to review. Add "Do not disturb" to the description if you can. This locks the runway. Minute 12 to 15. Schedule tomorrow's first action and commit publicly to yourself. In your weekly note, write your start. For 7 days, I'm testing calendar first, notes first, task light, using the 3-question filter. Daily signal at 5 p.m., plan executed yes, no. Then add your plan script for tomorrow. Today's 1 next action is plus object at time. If your day is chaotic, shrink it. Outline bullets for 15 minutes at 8 o'clock. Finally, paste your reset script under it so you're ready when reality hits. Blocker was tweak, ghoul. You're done. You have a scope, 3 outcomes, a protected block, 1 daily signal, and the scripts that remove negotiation. If your brain starts bargaining, maybe I should watch 1 setup video. Use the edge case script. Not this week, 1 change only. Affection. Evaluate Friday. Then close the loop. Add a Friday 15-minute weekly review event with the checklist in the description. Scoreboard. Right pointing arrow, shipped right pointing arrow, blocked right pointing arrow. Keeps kill, tweak right pointing arrow archive/reset. That's the container that prevents spirals. Before you leave, stack one tiny advantage. Pick your 2 context bundles for the week and add a 2-minute pre-block routine inside tomorrow's calendar event. Open bundle, write first line. For writing, that's the doc title and the first sentence stub. For studying, it's the question set link ready to go. For ops, it's the 3 links you always need. You just removed the cold start. Final step. If you're working with a team, drop the team script in your chat or status update. I'm trialing a personal focus overlay for 7 days. 1 protected block on work stream each morning and a yes-no end-of-day signal. No change to team process. That message prevents tool debates and buys you space to run. Timer's probably close to done. You've got a 7-day scope, a method chosen by the filter, a visible signal, tomorrow's first action on the calendar, and the words that keep you honest. Decide fast, start faster, and let the week teach you what to tweak. If you remember one thing, remember this. You don't need the best system. You need a fast decision and 1 clear signal for 7 days. Use the filter today and comment, starting 7 days, with your setup and signal time. For my weekly review checklist and real-time examples, watch the next video. Subscribe if you want more simple rules that beat tool hopping, and start your first block tomorrow.